Yeah, I have the game feed on a level right now just because it's different from the menu.
Alright, Alta, you are live.
Hello. So before I get started here, I need to do this. Gotta have the Neo Geo intro at the start. It just wouldn't be right without it. Alright. I guess I'll count us down here then.
Yes, please.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it started without me. Well, alright. Well, this is Puzzle Bobble, or Bust a Move, as it may be known in North America. I'm sure many of you have played puzzle games like this in one form or another, so I don't really need to go too much into the mechanics. Just clear all the balls, or all the orbs. The orb colors I get are basically random. It'll only give me colors that are currently on the board. And as far as the level layout is concerned, they can be kind of random and they can also not be. It's some are set, some are not. So, like this level, for example, the top orb colors are always the same, but the ones on the way down are not, and I'm not getting the color I want here whatsoever. This is actually rather impressive. Oh, finally. So,
Come on, chat, say it with me. Ready? Go!
ready, go! So, one thing that you might have noticed at the end of that level, once I finally got the piece that I wanted, is orbs hook right when they hit something, so I use that to my advantage in a few cases. Also, the music in this game, there's basically only the one track, so much like Bubble Bobble, we're gonna be listening to this same earworm for quite a while.
I mean, it's like a serious tradition, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. Also, in case you're wondering, this game was first released on, not on the Neo Geo, which is what I'm playing this on, but instead it was on Taito's own arcade system. I think it's called the Taito B, I don't remember it offhand.
Oh, I thought it was just like a typical Neo Geo thing where they have like a swappable board.
So, yeah, the Neo Geo was an arcade system with a lot of that you could swap out cards on. It was very popular with arcade owners, because then they didn't have to buy a new thing every time they wanted a game. They could just get a cart. Well, that round was a little messy, but got past it. This game has a tendency to punish you if you mess up once, and as far as the randomness in this game goes, I haven't really dug too much into the game itself to see if there's set patterns or anything, but I have a sneaky suspicion the game is purposely built to mess with you, because this was made in the age of arcades, where they're trying to make you spend as many quarters as possible. And some of these levels are very obvious in that fact.
Hey, we're talking an age where there was like advertisements to arcade owners that would say, "Hey, this game will guarantee the kids don't put lots of money into it."
Yeah, basically. This is one of those levels that I'm talking about, where it's just a bunch of orbs and in a row, and let's see if I can do this. And if you're not accurate, well, you easily get put in a bad situation. Anytime that you see me pause a little bit, it's not necessarily just for making sure that my shot is lined up, but if you move too fast, you can't see what the next orb is going to be, and knowing what the next orb color is very important. Because you want to be able to eliminate colors whenever you can, and sometimes it'll give you an extra one. This is one of these levels I'd like to call just waiting for the right color to show up. And looks like I'm not getting any favors done for me today. Round 4 didn't do any favors, and neither is this one. I'm not used to having it last this long, so the shot was really awkward. I might have to die here. Unless I get saved. So this is another example of a level where the pattern is set, and I'm just looking for specific colors the entire time. In this case, I would really love red and black. It sounded like the game accepted my plead for red and black, because we're done with it. So, funny thing is, even though I'm playing this on a Neo Geo, this game was never released for the home console version of the Neo Geo. I'm playing this off of a flash card. But the interesting thing, at least to me, the hardware between the arcade version and the home version of the console is basically the same hardware, so... as far as this is concerned, I'm playing on a real arcade. But considering how expensive these were on when they were released, it's not much of a wonder why many people didn't own them.
Mm-hmm. They were they were arcade cabinet prices.
Mm-hmm. The console itself was $600 USD on release, and that's in 1993. So, or actually, no, 91 even, I think. Need to get my history straight. Or maybe I could just make up things and then people won't believe me, I don't know. Who here in the chat's a Neo Geo arcade expert and could call me out on such things?
Let me go get Shentuck, I'll be right back.
Okay, hold on now. We don't need to bring him into this. I know he could call me out on it, though. Yeah, like it was said in the chat, if you are ever in the neighborhood to get Neo Geo stuff, the arcade board is definitely the cheaper option. So you'll notice that a lot of the levels in this game, it's either wait for one specific orb color or it's clear a bunch in a row. And they tend to alternate them. I think they did that on purpose to kind of give you a break in between them. And then, it's kind of a common thing in mobile games and arcade games to share a lot of the same design philosophies. So the first few levels are really easy, so they kind of get you invested a bit, and then that's when they start bringing out the difficult levels. And that's very apparent with some of the way some arcade games were designed. Kirby Master continues to insist that they're saying ow instead of go. I think he will always continue to insist that.
I might believe him if it came in donation form.
I might believe him too if he did that. If only for a little bit. Oops. You ever just misread what color you have? Yeah, neither have I.
Aw, dang. Called me out.
And here we have another level that's just clear all the orbs. I guess that's every level, but they're all in one spot. No elaborate patterns or anything. So even though this game is largely random in the pieces that you get, you can still... There's certain techniques you can use to try and minimize how much the game can mess with you. And a lot of it comes down to clearing the orbs evenly. Try and make sure you always have an option for every color that's available to you. That kind of thing. Sometimes you don't always get that, but you gotta work with what you have. I think that would make it. Sometimes you just have to go for the big ones, though. The game will force it on you otherwise.
From what I can tell from just watching this game, it's not a mechanically intensive game. It's just a game that just likes to really force a lot of pressure on the player.
Mm-hmm. And it's very apparent too when the music gets faster as the board gets pushed further down. So it's like they're daring you to make a mistake, and sometimes one mistake is all it takes, and it may not be immediately obvious that you're gonna lose, but one early mistake can sometimes be the thing that railroads you to losing the round. I'm playing in arcade mode though, so if I do end up losing, well, I have infinite credits, so... But we don't want that. You strive for the single credit clear if you can. Also, some of you might have noticed that the bottom of the screen says level 4. That's obviously not the level that I'm on right now, but that's instead the difficulty level that the game is on, and level 4 is the default difficulty for most Neo Geo games. And it goes up to level 7, I think. And what the difficulty level does varies based on the game. In the case of Puzzle Bobble, it changes the number of shots you get before the stack is lowered. So, the normal difficulty is already kind of difficult to begin with, and you get one less shot every time the difficulty goes up.
By the way, we just got $10 from Kirby Masters. It just says, ow.
Alright, it's ow for the rest of the run, I guess. You got what you wanted, Kirby.
Yeah, and he put $10 towards Fire Emblem Fates Game Bed War. which is currently in lead conquest at $10. It's definitely something people want to keep an eye out for over the course of the marathon.
Oh, one other neat piece of tech in this game is if you hold the joystick up, then it centers your aim, and that's really, really useful in some spots, especially when you're trying to make a precise shot. Some people have asked me when I stream this game if I have visual tells for some shots, and I do for some specific shots, like in round 12, when I want the one orange orb to clear the entire thing, but for the most part, it's just getting a feel for the game and knowing what subtle movements can do for how far it moves the orb. This is a little sketchy, but we should be okay.
Wait, how... Taito, how did you do it? How did you make a song that's both incredibly charming but incredibly stressful at the same time?
I don't know how they did it. So this level can be funny sometimes, where you set up the clear on the left side and then you never get it. That level was clean, and I've seen it go a lot worse. Alright, this level is deceptively tricky, but if you can clear off the sides early, then you're in really good shape. That tends to be the theme for the later levels, is it looks kind of harmless until you actually start playing it. Oof, this is a little problematic. Okay. Okay. Feeling a little better about this situation now. Okay. I rescind that remark now.
Spoke too soon.
The funny thing about this game is, even though it can look bad at times, I have pulled out some miracles before, so... Nothing's really over until... Oh my god, stop giving me orange. Nothing's really over until I'm actually dead. See, everything's fine. I did not panic at all. I don't know what you were talking about. So, this level here is pretty infamous, at least in my opinion, because sometimes this level can be impossible based on what the game gives you. And it looks like it had some mercy, so now I have to make sure I can finish it myself. Blue I wanted. And this is the last level like this, where it's just a lot of rows of different colors. Interesting thing about these levels with the constellation backgrounds is, as the level goes on, the background scrolls. And this level goes on long enough that you're likely gonna see it. And it kind of makes it a little hard to see where you're aiming. So, it's just, this game is just king of stress. It looks innocent, but it's not. Okay, I was gambling a bit there, and the game didn't punish me, so that's nice. That was one of the cleanest ones I've done. Anything that's around 70 seconds or lower on that round is really good. Give me some useful colors, like red. Okay. It gave me red after I cleared out absolutely everything else. This is another one of those levels that is deceptive in how difficult it is, and it's not as obvious just because of the way it's shaped, at least I think, but it's one of those where if you don't deal with the sides or can't find a way to clear your way through the middle, then you might be stuck looking for a color and it just doesn't want to show up. In fact, that just seems to be the general theme for this game.
I'm curious, is there like a colorblind mode for this game at all?
No. There isn't, though there are shapes inside the orbs that are a little hard to see. Though they're there, but... I can imagine colorblind people having a lot of trouble with this game. Ooh, that was generous. Alright, last level. Oh no, we're already in a bad situation. This is another one of those levels where you can just lose and just based on what the game gives you.
I'll go get my quarters. We're gonna be here a moment.
Yeah, we might need them this time. It's not looking too good right now.
Ugh, why is that a blue and a purple?
Yeah, yeah, okay. Didn't get the 1 CC. The unfortunate thing about this game is that, at least when I'm speedrunning it, when you lose a round, the game treats it as though you inserted a quarter, and the reward for you paying to win is you get a guide. So... I get the little cheater guide here. I'm a fraud. Though the funny thing is, even with the guide, I've lost this round before just because of what it gave me. Oftentimes, for this reason, arcade games, at least that I've noticed on speedrun.com, will require the game to be cleared in 1 credit. Because sometimes you can just have a situation where it's better to just die intentionally, while it is slower for this game to do so. Still doesn't look that great. And
I mean, that sounds really incredibly hard to do. To quickly judge, oh, this would take forever with this layout.
yeah, oh man. Yeah, I actually just lost this round again because it just wouldn't give me the color. So many PBs have been decided by this round. That's a problem. Okay. Slightly less of a problem now. Since I have the guide, I might as well use it. Okay. Not quite what I was going for, but can work with it. I was gambling a little bit there because the game could have easily not given me a yellow piece there. And time is now. Should have warned you. I cleared all the rounds.
Congratulations, sir.
Oh man. Slightly overestimate because of round 30. Here's the other track in the game. It's the Bubble Bobble theme. So yeah, if we got a minute, we can stick around here. Because I'm sure you guys would love to have a prize of some sort. I don't know if you guys are giving away prizes or not, but maybe Taito can come in for us here.
We got a moment.
How are you guys with anagrams? I guess. So yeah, on the North American version of the game, this is what you would see if you beat the game. And if you unscramble the message, it says, Taito, the only game in town. But unless you have a time machine and can go back to 1995, there's no t-shirt for you. Oh well, that was Puzzle Bobble. Thanks you guys for watching and continuing to support a good cause here.